Preseason football's underway and everyone's rushing to get those preseason 2023 NFL mock drafts out, which means my time has come. It's time for the full return of Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft and mock it, giving you my views, thoughts, and opinions. And today we got a good one. We're looking at Bengals 2023 NFL mock draft. You don't know who Bengal is. I don't know what rock you've been sleeping under, but I went ahead and watched the video. That way I got the context of his picks. We're going to go ahead, take a look at that, give you my opinion on that. By the way, what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So I'm going to be having my own mock draft come out at the end of this week, and that one's going to be a hoot. We're going to finish the deep dive series, hopefully in the next few days. And yeah, we'll get that mock draft out for you. I'll have my top 200 players going into the 2022 college football season. So you're going to have a nice, healthy watch list. Man, I'm just happy football's back. Let's go ahead, get into this, and let's take a look at his first 4 picks here. And let's go ahead and mock it. Not really mock it, man. I respect Bengal. I appreciate the grind. I respect anyone who has an opinion on football players, even if I don't agree with it. But he's got the Houston Texans, and I believe these are Vegas betting on. So if you're mad about the draft order, go cry to Vegas. I don't know. Go bet some money. Maybe you're like, the Panthers are going to be way better than this. I put your money down. Put money on it. Use underdog fantasy. But he's got the Texans. They're going number 1. They're going with C.J. Stroud. That doesn't surprise me. I believe Bengal said it in the video that they look at C.J. Stroud, and it's like he's got the ideal size. He's got the ideal NFL-ready arm. So, yeah, he's going to tick a lot of the boxes for the NFL. And if you're Houston, you're picking number 1, especially after a draft class, or at least a quarterback class like we had in 2022. If you could get your pick of quarterback, then yeah, you might as well go quarterback with the first pick. It's the most valuable position on the field, on your roster. Go ahead and address that. So Stroud, for some people, he's going to be number 1. Other people are going to have Bryce Young. If you haven't checked out my rankings, you can go check them out, where I go into pretty good detail on these guys. So the Atlanta Falcons, they go Will Anderson. Yes, I'm going to say this. Some teams might be scared off by the size of Bryce Young. Very well, the Falcons might be encouraged with what they have with Desmond Ridder. A lot of possibilities here at number 2. So going Will Anderson makes sense because this team has been in desperate need of pass rush since, oh man, feels like as long as I can remember. Vic Beasley, he looked good for a little bit for y'all, but not since then. So getting Will Anderson, the top pass rusher, I think debatably, I'm a huge Miles Murphy guy, and those two guys are very, very different type of pass rushers. So for me, it's kind of a 1A, 1B, but if they want to go with Anderson, no problem. He's going to be the top guy for a lot of people. And then this is an interesting one. Now, the Bears, they go with Peter Skoronski out of Northwestern. I really think some teams are going to view this cat as a guard, just because short arms. They're going to see those sub 33-inch arms and be like, I don't love that. Maybe he's just a guard, but we've seen players with sub 33-inch arms succeed at the NFL level. Jonah Williams, Penny Sewell, Rashawn Slater. So some teams might not even care if he continues to play the way he has the last couple of years. But yeah, I could see the Bears definitely maybe going to the tackle class because, well, Tevin Jenkins, we know, dude was possibly on the trade block for the Bears. So I don't know, man. There might be something going on there. I thought there was a little murkiness in the water when they signed Riley Reif. So I was like, that's much more than just a depth play. They're not happy about their tackle situation. But I think Bengal talks about how this tackle class right now, it doesn't look too great because you do have guys like Paris Johnson, who has yet to play tackle at the collegiate level. He's been playing guard for Ohio State, but I really think he's going to be a much better tackle than he was guard. He's just got the body type for it. There's Broderick Jones, who we only saw in 4 games last year for Georgia because he was right in the bench behind Jamari Sawyer. But I think that guy has such high-end potential. I thought he actually looked better than Sawyer when Sawyer went down with the injury. I thought Jones just looked better. So I think the tackle class will be a lot better when we get to the end of the season. So, yeah, Skoronski, he's in the mix for that too. But yeah, there are going to be hesitations there. I think that's why he even listed him as an offensive line instead of a OT. And then we get Bryce Young going to the Panthers. Listen, if you're the Panthers, you're picking 4th overall. Baker Mayfield didn't do well. Sam Darnold didn't do well. You're not sitting in a pretty situation. Yeah, if you could get the 2nd best quarterback in the draft at pick 4, you're going to do it. I don't really care too much about Bryce Young's size. He's shown that seeing over the pocket is no problem for him. I don't think he's going to have the Kyler Murray type of problem we've seen where he struggles with the middle of the field. Like Bryce Young, this dude, he goes through his progression so well. He's able to extend the play with his legs. I love this cat. He's one of my favorite might be my favorite prospect in this class. Definitely my top quarterback prospect. By the way, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse. And the popular thing now to do on YouTube, if you really support the channel, is to share the video. So go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead, get back to the nitty gritty. All right, let's go on to the next slate of picks we got here. Here we go. And the quarterbacks just keep flying off the board as he's got Will Levis going to the Giants. He's a Giants fan, so hey, if he likes Levis, good for him. For me, he feels like big arm Kenny Pickett. And if you didn't know, I wasn't the biggest Kenny Pickett fan. I just didn't think he was really a first rounder, man. I didn't think the upside was all that great. And with Will Levis, actually kind of is. He's already running a pro style offense there in Kentucky as their former coach Cohen. Was it Cohen or Cohen? I can't recall. But is now he returned to the Rams, but he came from the Rams and kind of installed that like wide zone West Coast style offense, that Shanahan tree offense. So he's been operating an offense with very NFL passing concepts and such. It's just, Will Levis needs to be a bit more, let's say, consistent. And he got better as the year went down, but he is going to be an older prospect by the time he's drafted. I think he's going to, or by the time he starts his rookie year, I think he's going to be 24. And I don't know. I have him as a top 50 guy, admittedly. I kind of like, I feel better about him maybe at the back end of the first round compared to a guy like Kenny Pickett. So I don't know. We'll see. A lot of this can change, but that is my current stance on Will Levis. Jalen Carter. I absolutely love Jalen Carter. I thought he was the best defense player on that Georgia defense last year, and I think that's going to be much of the same when we're talking about the top 5 prospects in this class. Throw some respect on my boy's name. This dude is disruptive, and you know what? Jaguars, I don't know how, like, if you keep picking inside the top 10, like, you better be getting something from these guys. Like, something's got to change, right? Anthony Richardson going to the Lions. Oh, man, dude. Ooh, that would be scary. Richardson, and I think Bengal talked about this in his video, that it's like, this is kind of like highballing where Richardson, well, at least what his potential is. We just need to see it on the field. Like last year, a lot of people, at least they would say he's inaccurate. No, I just think he's he can be late on passes. So just seeing a bit more, I guess, poise as a passer, being able to throw not just in rhythm but on time, have better anticipation. Don't know if we'll really see that too much with Billy Napier there as head coach, but I don't know. I expect the AR-15 to be a lot better. But yeah, Lions going quarterback. Why not, man? If you could take a shot on a quarterback in the top 10, especially if a lot of people are regarding these guys as top 10, top 15 prospects, take the swing. And that's same thing goes for Seattle Seahawks here at it with Tyler Van Dyke. Baby. That is my team. I love me the Hurricanes. This is the first time I've been so excited about the Hurricanes in so long. But Tyler Van Dyke, the dude can sling the ball. Dude's a former pitcher in high school. Like, this guy can throw the ball at different speeds. He can put a nice touch on the ball. Now he might be operating in a bit of a better offense where it's like, okay, cool. I can really begin going through my progressions because not all my guys are going to be like, their route doesn't begin like 10 yards down the field. It was just that type of vertical offense they were running in Miami last year. So I'm excited for Tyler Van Dyke. Yeah, there's areas he can get better. I think we'll get a better grasp of where he's at this season, but he showed a lot of intrigue. And if you're the Seahawks, Drew Lock ain't the answer. Geno Smith is a fine backup. But yeah, no, you need to do something about quarterback. By the way, if you haven't liked this video, or if you haven't gone to Bengals and given it a like, go do that. Let's go ahead to the next set of picks here, as we got the Washington Commanders going Paris Johnson. Oh, maybe he just lists all these guys as O-line. I don't know. Paris Johnson, I think, is going to be a pretty fine tackle. I think we're going to be talking about him as a top 10 pick by the end of the year. By the way, might be the nicest guy, best human being in this draft. He has his own foundation that helps out I believe it's like veterans and disadvantaged. There we go. Athletes. And this guy is just, his volunteer work is huge. Like what a guy. And sports journalism. He actually writes for their newspaper there at Ohio State. So overall, really cool cat. So Washington going tackle. They got Cosme. They got Leno. Maybe if they don't see Leno as a long-term answer, but they gave him, a 3-year deal or something like that. So I don't know if I personally would go there. But I mean, it's this early. Who the hell knows, But yeah, no, Paris Johnson I totally see as a top 10 pick by the year's end. And then Trent Simpson, probably, for me, he is the top linebacker in this class thus far. I'm a sucker for athletic linebackers, and he is just that. Going to the Jets, man, that could be dangerous. That can be scary. I mean, Robert Saleh could be looking at that and be like, man, I do miss me Fred Warner, man. I really do. So that makes a ton of sense to me. For me, it's a bit early. I think the linebacker class thus far, like going through it, you can go check out my video on my linebacker rankings. But to me, really not a lot of guys have emerged. There's a lot of guys where it's like, ooh, but it's kind of looking like a weak class right now as it stands. But Simpson, he's the top for me. By the way, look at that bow tie, man. That dude looking fresh. Steelers, wow, y'all drafted early. Going Keely Ringo, my favorite corner of this class. He's a top 10 pick to me. This dude is freaking wild, man. Great speed. He shows really good closing speed. I thought he played Jameson Williams pretty darn well in the, I guess that would be I think it was the national championship, but I could see technically played him also in the SEC championship. But Ringo, like, I think no one comes close in terms of this corner class. No one touches him. It's Keely Ringo and then the rest of the class. And I really didn't think it was going to be that going into my summer deep dive, and it just ended up that way. Plus, if you're the Steelers, yeah, you kind of need to add more talent to that cornerback position, or else you're going to be in a position where you were 5 years ago, where you were just awful. And then the Philadelphia Eagles is one of, I think, 2 picks the Eagles have. If I'm not positive, I don't know. We'll find out. But they go Miles Murphy. Miles Murphy's top 5 for me, man. He's a top 5 prospect. This dude is so physically imposing. He's a physical specimen. This guy literally you are at his whim. If you are tasked with blocking freaking Miles Murphy, you are at his whim. He is what do they call it? Like the puppeteer or marionette. Like you are literally at his whim. This dude is so just overtly strong, man. I love him, man. I actually really like that addition to the edge room there in Philadelphia with Brandon Graham getting on in years. Derek Barnett, I'm pretty sure there isn't a long-term future in Philly for Derek Barnett. So yeah, adding more talent to the outside makes a ton of sense. All right, let's keep this train rolling. As number 13, I actually really like this pick, Tony Grimes. I like that he chose to highlight Tony Grimes because this cat actually came from my former area. I think he went to Pocosin there in the 757 represented. Don't live there anymore. Don't go looking for me. But dude's been really good. I actually like him a bit better than Storm Duck, another guy that's very highly coveted, I guess you would say, at North Carolina. But I mean, Storm Duck's been dealing with injury concerns and whatnot, so Grimes has just been shut down. Dude's a wonderful athlete. He enrolled early there in North Carolina, so he is young. So yeah, I'm a huge fan. I mean, after losing J.C. Jackson, yeah, I think it would be logical for the Patriots to go in that direction. And then we have Kayshon Boutte going to the Texans here. Wonderful pick. I guess this would mean, I don't know if you're the Texans, because you get Mechie. Granted, you won't see Mechie for this season, but I think Mechie maybe fits more as a slot receiver. You got Brandon Cooks there on the outside, and I guess they would probably I think they would really like Nico Collins, but I mean, you get your top pick of the best wide receiver in this class. Bootie's wonderful after the catch. Like, wonderful. I think that would add a very nice wrinkle. And you know what? I'm not gonna be Boutte hurt if I'm like, you know what? Let's upgrade Nico Collins. You're gonna be a fine depth piece at this point. So yeah, I don't mind that one bit. And I mean, they just drafted their quarterback of the future with well, my gosh, they took CJ Stroud. And I mean, here's the thing, dude. They could like, why not match him? Why not match CJ Stroud with Jackson Smith and Jigba, right? And I get the conflict there because I really think that JSN is going to end up being a slot-only corner. I mean, that's where he primarily operates out of. And I think athletically he's better for the slot. So maybe there's a conflict there with Mechie, because I think that's another thing. I thought Mechie coming out was probably going to be a slot only. So, I mean, I get it. I understand it. And plus, I like Boutte more. So maybe not, you know. It's like I get trying to pair former college teammates. But listen, if you like Boutte more, hey, I'm a Boutte guy too. So JSN actually going with the next pick to the Cardinals. I don't know. I feel weird about this. I feel like this kind of operates in the same, like, you got Rondale Moore. This is going to be the Rondale Moore role. I don't know how many slot receivers you want to put on this team. Maybe you think JSN could play on the outside. I have my hesitations. I have my doubts. I don't doubt that he's going to be a pretty darn good receiver. We've seen how important the slot position is becoming in the NFL. We've seen guy like Cooper Kupp just went off. And 70% of the time, he was operating out of the slot. A lot of teams now are putting their best corners in the slot. Jalen Ramsey, majority of his snaps last year came in the slot. Kenny Moore, lighting the world on fire. Dude's the best slot corner in the game. It's like, it's kind of an important position now. So it's like, maybe teams start taking the slot a bit more serious, at least when it comes offensively. And this is probably my biggest disagreement here, which I don't have many. I actually really liked his draft. But at 16, Tennessee Titans, Nolan Smith. I'm not high on Nolan Smith. I'm not with the consensus of the draft community. They love how athletic and twitchy this cat is. And, like, I fell in love with a guy that was similar to that in Azeez Ojulari. I loved him. He was, I think, 21 or 22 on my big board back in 2021? Yeah, 2021. I don't see that with Nolan Smith. Like, I get it. I see it. But, like, he struggles so much with physicality. And he just, this dude's just been a part of the rotation. I get it, Georgia. They rotate their players in and out because guess what? They have a wealth of riches at every position on defense. So it makes sense to keep you guys fresh. But even then, man, he was still kind of like the third man in that rotation just a year ago. Not last year, but the year before. A guy that lost his starting job initially. Like, we really need a breakout season from Nolan Smith. And I have some real concerns about the size. Really do. And we saw a guy who, in Nick Benito, have a little stumble. A lot of people really thought he was a first rounder, but teams, they don't play around. If you don't fit certain heights, certain weight requirements, they're gonna be like, you're off our board. So I don't know. With Nolan Smith, I got my concerns. I think he was like number 9 or number 8, on my edge rusher rankings list. So if you want to hear more about that, go check that video out. I'm just out here advertising my own videos. Go check it out. They're good videos. All right, let's go to the next half of the draft here. All right. So Bijan Robinson, everyone and their mom is mocking the Eagles' Bijan Robinson. And I get it. I love Bijan Robinson. This guy, I don't think he's just a running back. I think there's a guy that can operate in the slot. You could kick him outside wide if you want to. He's just an overall weapon. I love this cat. He's actually from currently, I guess, would you call this my hometown now? I've been here like 10 years. I think it's my hometown. So he's from the general area. So I got to see Bijan playing in high school. And the dude, it was literally like a man among boys. But yeah, no, Bijan probably going to be one of the highest rated running back prospects since Saquon Barkley. And I think I don't know if he ends up top 20 for me. If you're not new to the channel, I'm not wild about running backs in the first round. I really think it's a very devalued position that you could probably get right with. I ain't gonna lie, day 3 guys. But yeah, no, Bijan's a bit different. So like, I get the Eagles, you get 2 picks in the first round. I think they only have 2, right? But you get 2 picks in the first round, so you don't necessarily have to go, like, you use this as a luxury pick. But I don't know. I might be going elsewhere. Yeah, because I mean, shoot, you're operating right now. Like, I think this might be a good spot to go corner, right? Because you could do, because you currently got Darius Slay and James Bradbury. Are those your long-term answers on the outside? I don't know. So maybe you could grab a guy here. All right, we got Brian Brazi or Braza, bro. Oh gosh, dude. I don't have my pronunciation up here for it, but I know it don't sound how it looks. It's like Brazi, something like that. I don't know. But this cat played 4 games last year before he got hurt. But the dude, I think he's a 5-star recruit, had a banger of a freshman season. I think he's probably going to come out, have much of the same. And I like him in this middle to late first round area. I really like this interior class, but I don't think he's like, I don't think it's like the tippy top in terms of where he lands. I don't really consider him a top 10 guy. He's kind of a fringe top 15 guy for me, but pretty darn good. Minnesota grabbing him. I'm trying to think, who does Minnesota have currently on that interior? I know they added Harrison Phillips, right? Let's do Vikings depth chart. I don't know. It's been a freaking hot minute since I did my Vikings deep dive, and I just remember like gushing about the offense. So yes, it's currently okay. I forgot about Dalvin Tomlinson, but yeah, no, getting a guy that could be a pure penetrator on the other, like outside there. Okay, yeah, no, I could probably get behind this. Another thing, I don't mind adding more corner help. Like, this team just needs talent in the secondary. It really does. Mainly corner position. I mean, currently they got Patrick Peterson, and then you got Cameron Dantzler. I know they drafted Andrew Booth. I know they're probably high on it. Caleb Evans, but day 3 picks. Can't be too sure with. Shadon Sullivan, he's more of a dime guy. I wouldn't want him in the nickel. So yeah, I think adding more talent in the cornerback room would be probably more ideal. I don't know. We're a long way out, so who knows? Josh Downs going to the Colts. I'm not wild about Josh Downs. I don't see Jahan Dotson in Downs. Like, a majority of his snaps come in the slot, so he gets free releases. But like, it's not just that. It's majority of his stuff is like schemed up. It's like screens, jet sweeps, stuff like that. They get him in motion, gets free releases that way. Like, I don't know. I get it. He's a wonderful athlete. Dude's twitched up, a lot of speed. So I'm not totally against it. I'm just not totally on board with it right now. But honestly, that would be a good pickup for the Colts, especially with Paris Campbell struggling to get healthy there in the slot. I mean, they bring in Alex Pierce. They have Michael Pittman. So grabbing some speed, a guy that you could play there in the slot that could really be not just a vertical threat, but someone after the catch. That's actually not half bad. Then the Las Vegas Raiders go Anton Harrison. I like Anton Harrison. He's another guy that could emerge, a guy that understood going into at least coming into this season that, hey, A lot of guys, a lot of evaluators don't like my play strength. They know I could be stronger, and the weight room's been something he's taken very seriously over the course of the off season. I can't wait to see him this year. He's been very good in pass protection. I'm a huge fan. He's got ideal length. He's definitely another guy you need to at least bring up when you're talking about someone who could end up in this top 10 mix there at tackle. So yeah, and who are we kidding ourselves? The Raiders line needs some more attention. They really do. All right, let's see what else we got in store here. Oh man, I'm gonna have fun talking about that Seattle pick. But Andre Carter, some people are gonna have a much higher. Me, I'm not like all the way sold on. Actually, what am I talking? I had this cat way higher. Interesting. But I mean, I'm kind of on board with like where he goes, because like he's such a raw prospect. Like, people look at the length, they'll look at the movement skills, and they're gonna just be salivated at the mouth. And I don't blame them. They need to get this cat in an NFL weight room, because even at 265, he looks lanky as heck. But that's what happens when you're 6'7", 6'8". But I mean, I get it. There's a lot to be excited about. He does have pretty nice get off. I don't know if I'm exactly sold on how explosive he is, just because, like, when you're that long, when you're that big, it's like, of course you're gonna cover a lot of ground. But I don't know, man. I got some reservations about him. But in this area, no, I think that's great value. Grab a guy that you can mold off the edge. I mean, you could be talking about DeMarcus Lawrence in the future. Like, does he maybe that's a contract we can maybe part ways with eventually. This is a team that failed to bring back Randy Gregory, so makes sense. Dolphins, we get a pick. Yay. Noah Sewell. Honestly, that's the type of linebacker we need. We need a meaty, big hitting guy. My problems with Noah Sewell is the missed tackles. Like, he has such a hit stick mentality that sometimes he just misses the tackles. The problem is it happens when he's in coverage, because he doesn't have the greatest prowess in coverage. But if you're going to be a guy that's going to be, okay, I'm going to let you catch underneath on me, but you're not going to get more yards than that. If like you go out for like this 4 or 5 yards underneath, that's the only 4 or 5 yards you're going to get. 75% of the yards he allowed last year came after the catch for Noah Sewell. So if you're going to be that big of a liability in coverage, yeah, your draft stock's going to get knocked. I think I even mentioned this in my linebacker video, that there was this one case where it should have been like a 4 or 5 yard loss in the backfield, but he goes for the big hit after literally barreling over the guard, goes for the big hit on the running back, and the running back is able to keep his balance because he goes for the hit stick, so it's not a wrap up, so he knocks him back. Running back's still on his feet, goes for 7 yards. It's like, come on, bro. So yeah, I mean, this is the type of linebacker the Dolphins need, though. Linebacker to me is kind of it's a more devalued position in today's NFL. If you're looking for like a guy that's a sure tackler, like a run stuffer, allows like a completion rate like 70 to 80%, that's just going to be a guy that's like going to mitigate the damage of receivers underneath. You could get those guys later on. You don't go for those type of guys in the first round. So I would probably go for a more valuable position. All right, now we got Tyree Wilson going to the Seahawks. Seahawks got their quarterback of the future. Now they grab some D-line help. And D-line is right. This is a guy that could honestly put on a few more pounds and probably kick to the interior. To be fair, I mean, Seattle's going to more of that 3-4 as they used to be attacking 4-3. But even Pete Carroll kind of acknowledged that, yeah, we're moving more towards what people would refer to as a traditional 3-4 defense. So getting someone like this as a 3-4 end makes sense. To me, Wilson, he looked good. I think some of his best moves were on the interior, and when he had to face really good, like NFL caliber tackles like Charles Cross, he was shut down. Literally, like that Mississippi State game, where people are like, he shined. It was only against not Charles Cross. Like anytime this cat was lined up against Charles Cross, he lost. So it's like, I got a little hesitancy on him. I'm probably not going to be like, at least for me, he's not going to be a first rounder for me. I was real hesitant to even make him a day 2 guy. So that's something we'll maybe check out during the year. Maybe it totally flips. We'll see. I'm not on board yet. Cincinnati Bengals, whoa, they go edge. They're going Felix. Again, don't have the pronunciations up for me. I think it's Odike Ozuma. FAU. There we go. Florida Atlantic University. But dude's good, man. I think he's got good length. Very strong because he plays in the Big 12 where they like their 3-man fronts. So he's not always traditionally outside of the tackle. But dude is strong. I would love to see a little bit more consistency when it comes to his bigger matchups, like being a better finisher in those matchups. But the pressure numbers, they all remain the same. He was very consistent. This guy constantly wreaking havoc. I'm pretty high on this cat as well. And it was actually Bengal. We were talking after last year's draft, and he was like, "Man, this guy, like, he was a pretty big fan right off the bat." So. Yeah, now I think a lot of people are probably going to have him in that mid to late first round area initially and see how he does this year. I mean, man, you think of the Bengals, man, adding more pass rush. And I mean, honestly, like this would be a cat that, I don't know, maybe it's like they have Cameron Sample, right? Yeah. They have Cameron Sample. Yes, because the Cowboys have Chauncey Golston. I don't think I'm getting that mixed up. Sorry, I've mixed players up that are very similar. But I guess that would kind of be maybe an early role for him. But, I mean, hey, dude, pass rush, you could never have enough pass rush. So if they want to go in on that, I don't mind that. You could always look at linebacker if you want to eventually. Well, then again, this isn't the class to really look at linebacker right now, is it? So, touche. Ooh. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe you roll the dice on one of the tight ends, like Michael Mayer or Eric Gilbert. Maybe. I'm really high on both those guys. All right, blah 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 blah. Getting close to that final stretch. We got Jordan Addison at USC. He comes in and he's now the Hollywood Brown of this offense for the Browns. And that's kind of what he is. My problem with Addison is this is a boy that does get bullied by more physical corners. I love what he can do after the catch. I love the speed. I get kind of worried that he might be just a slot guy. But again, I feel a bit better because I think his release package is actually pretty nice. It's really during the route where I'm concerned with. A lot of people are going to try to make the Devontae Smith comparisons, and no, don't you do that. Devontae Smith actually played with some physicality. I can't say the same about Jordan Addison, but yeah, I don't know, man. If you're the Ravens doing that, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, not sold on it. Antonio Johnson. A lot of people really love Johnson because now he's actually going to be playing more of a true safety role rather than the slot like he did last year. And I kind of I have him around this range going to the Detroit Lions. There you go. But yeah, I kind of have him around this range because I want to see it first. But I think he's like my safety 2 or safety 3. But yeah, I kind of want to see it first. But we talk about how slots becoming such a more valuable position in today's NFL. Like it's been a passing league for like 5 years now. You think defenses would jump more, like would jump on that a bit easier, but they just haven't. But Antonio Johnson, definitely a guy by the end of the year we could be talking about in like the top 15. We got Green Bay going receiver in the first round. This can't be true. Quentin Johnson, though, is a dude I absolutely love. So strong at the catch point. He's probably going to run like a 4.4. Dude is big. He is physical. Go watch that Oklahoma game and just watch him basically make fools of that secondary. Where like he had one catch in the end zone, 3 touchdowns this game, by the way. One catch in the end zone where he basically just strong armed the ball away from a corner, looked at the corner and was just like, let me tell you what level you're on. Here's me. There you are. Dude's nasty. I love this cat. That's actually a good pairing with who they recently just drafted early second, Christian Watson. Watson's more of this big-bodied vertical guy, where Johnson, not saying he's not a vertical guy, but he's definitely a guy that's someone that could catch underneath and create after the catch. And the Chargers go Ika. Man, again, it hurts me not having pronunciations right there in front of me because I've started writing those down because I really suck with pronouncing stuff. So, yeah, big nose tackle out of Baylor. That would actually be a really good addition for the Chargers, whose run defense was a bit lackluster last year, though they did add a lot of guys this past offseason. Sebastian Joseph Day. They got, I think, Austin Johnson. So they've made moves, but always you could always add to that. I know last year they were a team that a lot of people were projecting Jordan Davis to go to. So Garmin, a guy like Ika, who is shown like he could be a pretty darn good pass rusher. Like I think he's like 350, 358, something like that. And dude can penetrate. So yeah, he's definitely gonna be in the mix for after Jalen Carter. He's gonna be talked about as one of the top interior guys in this class. Very good interior class, by the way. Very good. All right, we get the final 3 picks here. And we got Brian Branch, my favorite safety in this class, by the way, going to the Chiefs. Chiefs, they do love a lot of 3 safety sets, if you remember. They would have, even when they benched Daniel Sorensen, he would come in as the dime linebacker. Literally, Nick Bolton would come off the field because they would have Sorensen on the field. Why? I don't know, but I like Brian Branch, man. Played that star role at Alabama. Kind of split time there with Malachi Moore, and the dude's just a wonderful athlete. I think the game's starting to slow down for him too, and just watch out, man. He's shown really good ball skills. He's currently my top safety. I'm an absolute fan of this cat. Can you imagine, dude? You got Juan Thornhill, Justin Reed, and you throw Brian Branch in the mix. Guy you could sneak in the slot. Maybe you could throw now L'Jarius Sneed more on the outside because he was the guy that was primarily in the slot a lot last year for him. So I like it. I love it. Tampa Bay Buccaneers go Eli Ricks. They have a very tough decision this year if they want Sean Murphy-Bunting or Jameel Dean. Or maybe they can't sign either. That's going to be a big thing this offseason. Both are very quality corners. I kind of lean to Jameel Dean. I think he's kind of a freak athlete at his size, and I'm just a big fan of his. I think he's been very productive since kind of getting the nod his rookie year during the second half of the season. Eli Ricks, people are going to question this cat's speed, but the dude, very hands-on, uses his hands exceptionally well. Going to Bama, a place where, hey, man, if you're a technician, you're going to shine. I think it was a good call with the transfer. People might question the character because of the arrest over back in, I think it was May or March, but I honestly think it was just a case of a young kid doing something stupid. I can't remember specifically what it was. I think it was maybe he got caught with a little bit of the reefa while driving. So don't quote me on that. You could Google it, look it up. But yeah, no, definitely corner I think is a position that Bucks could likely be going. And then the Buffalo Bills. Congratulations, Bills. Apparently you won the Super Bowl according to Vegas. Isaiah Foskey. I'm very high on Foskey. I think this guy is going to be a high floor guy. Just, I love the length. I love the athleticism, the burst, the strength. Big fan. I think him returning is really going to elevate that dude's stock as long as he come in and have that true breakout. Like, he kind of broke out last year, but I think he could have this elite type year and really get his name into the mix of top 10, top 15. I'm a big fan, but I know even if it's more of the same we saw last year, this dude's got a high floor. He's going to find himself if not at the first half of that first round, the back half. And here he is going to the Bills, who apparently love edge rushers. They do. They love these guys that could not only play outside, but maybe even kick to the inside. As Foskey, he kind of does that there at Notre Dame. And hey, man, Leslie Frazier, he loves rotate his defensive line. He loves these guys being fresh. So if they want to go edge, I don't blame them. Plus, for me, this is the best guy on the board. So I like it. Oh man, it sucks. No pick 32. We could make believe like the Dolphins here at 32 won the Super Bowl and picked. So where would they go? What would be the options here for the Dolphins? And man, I would still be thinking offensive line if I'm the Dolphins, and I guess I would bring up Broderick Jones if he's still available here, come in and play right tackle. Plus you got Terron Armstead, a guy who, oh man, when was the last time he's had a really healthy season? So there's always that scare that he might not be healthy for the year. So I think that would be something I would consider. Who's the top guard prospects in here? You got Layden Robinson, who's got a high ceiling, man. That guy, if it clicks for him this year at A&M, watch out. Like if you thought Kenyon Green going to 15 was wild, man, Layden Robinson's a guy that could go that high. Cooper Beebe, real good. He's playing left tackle for Kansas State, but the dude's he's a guard in the NFL. Oh, and my boy Andrew Voorhees, if he wasn't going to be 24 by the time of his rookie season, he'd probably be a lot higher. He's a guy that actually he played left tackle very well for USC down the stretch. Probably profiles better as a guard, but I would not discount that he could play tackle in the NFL. So definitely got to watch. So yeah, that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing. Be on the look for my videos this week, as we got 3 teams remaining in my deep dive series. We're going to have the top 200 big board, and of course my mock draft. Don't be like, oh man, you're only doing a first round, because I'm going to be doing a 3 round as we get closer to the NFL season. So be on the look for that. But as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.